In this week's Parsha Miketz, Miketz always falls out in the middle of Chanukah. And I thought it would be apropos to speak a little bit about Chanukah. You know, there's something about Chanukah that always amazes me. And if you look in the Siddur, when we say Al Nisim, when we thank Hashem for the wonderful miracles that He has done for us in the past, and that He does for us in the present, and that He will do for us in the future, when we remember the miracle of Chanukah, it's not only the light that lasted for 8 days. The real miracle was the fact that a very small army of Kohanim, the family of the Hashmonaim, were able to defeat the Syrian Greek army. It says in our prayers, V'rabim biyad me'atim, utameim biyad tahorim. Hashem, you did such a wonderful miracle for us, that the multitudes were handed over into the hands of the few. The impure were handed over into the hands of the pure. And that is reminiscing, and that is remembering the miracle of this war. But if we take a step back and look at the war in its context, if we were there at that time, without the context of history, without the foresight and hindsight, we would look at that and say, are you saying a group of guerrillas, of terrorists, these terrorist Kohanim, are attacking the wonderful Syrian Greeks? I mean, after all, aren't they coming to imbue into our society a little bit of Hellenistic civilization so we can be more civilized, we can be more like them? I'm sure there were many Jews who saw that. Many Jews who couldn't understand these guerrilla tactics, this terrorism that was wrought upon the poor Greeks. And all they were trying to do was just give us a bit of culture. So many of those Jews who protest on campuses today, would they not be part of those voices that said that? And what amazes me is you can go to the most removed Jew in the most removed area in this world, and they'll have a menorah. They'll have a Chanukah. Rahmana litzlon, it might even be next to their Christmas tree, but they'll have their menorah. They'll have a menorah painted on their window of their shop. How come? They would be the last people to support what Chanukah was all about. How come they're all celebrating Chanukah with such excitement? And the answer is, I believe, this beautiful concept in Judaism called the Pintel Yid. The Pintel Yid means that we all have a spark of divine, a spark of purity inside us. That spark may be glowing very, very dimly, but it knows there's Hashem, and it knows Hashem is watching over us, and that Hashem looks after us, and that Hashem cares about us. And even if we get so far removed, and we get so carried away by normalcy and normal society, there's a part of us that cries out and wants to be connected to Hashem. And that's what the Chanukah light is all about. That light that should have blown out, that should have died out after only one day, just kept burning and burning and burning and wasn't extinguished. And that is a symbol to the neshama, to the light in every yid, the light in all of us that will never ever be diminished and will never be distinguished. Shabbat Shalom and happy Chanukah.